might be a good idea to know. Or it just might be fun to find out. I probably so entertaining. All right.
You can see that.
All right. So, besides that, tracks are cool. You can notice like things. Where are they going? What habitat are these animals living in? Question.
They're living in the nature. Like
Yes.
what?
But, so if you see something living in a field other than in a heavily dense forest, do you think that's the same animal? No. Why not?
Because it's habitat. The habitat, if it's like in the grass, like really tall grass, it would be a tall grass animal habitat.
Sure.
And if it's in the forest, like a bear, and you see like chipmunks, it'll look the same as the other thing. It's not the same thing.
Good. All right. And then if you see multiple tracks, you can get a feel for, okay, you might have a lot more of one species than another. And especially on a management, like a sustainability track, if you're trying to manage your property, it's really important to know. Okay? So tracks are a particularly important sign because usually if you go out in the woods, do you usually see a bear walking around or a coyote? No, they don't like people. They're scared of you. You're not supposed to be there, so they're like, peace out, I'm out. So there are usually the only things left behind unless you have, obviously, a dead one. And then you can get a feel for what is present in that area. Okay? Bless you. All right. So the formation of the actual track. So what do you think would make a bigger track? A big animal or a little animal? Someone else. Yes. Big animal. Why?
Because they have bigger paws than other animals.
Close.
They're heavier.
They're heavier. So if, say you, sir, were standing in mud, do you think you'll sink further than him?
Most likely.
Yes. So the deeper the depression in the substrate, that's another fancy word for, oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Then sand, mud, snow, then you'll notice you'll have a bigger animal. Okay? Okay. All right. So you have snow and you have mud. You have sand. What do you think would be the best substrate to get a track from? Yes.
No.
No. Why?
Why? Because since you slow around, you can see it clearly, but it will kind of be out.
So this is kind of a trick question. So if you see a track in the snow, it depends on A, how fresh the track is, and B, the kind of snow the track is in. So if it's like packy snow, you might have a good sound track. But if it's fresh powder, you might have, like the wind might have blown it, or another common factor is the snow melts. So think of, here's your track, and as the snow melts, your track gets bigger. And remember how we talked about how bigger animals leave bigger tracks? So you might think you actually have a bigger animal that's actually there. Make sense? You can take a little squirrel track, and it can get into like a coyote track. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but yes, question. Mud. What kind of mud? Ooh, bonus question.
Non-water?
Yes, actually. So you know that kind of mud that's a little damp, but not really soupy?
Yeah.
That's the best kind to get tracks in. All right, so general parts. So everyone hold up your hand. So this is your paw. Paw. Rawr. All right, so think, this is called your palm pad, and this is your heel pad. And then these would be toe pads. These are your identifying characteristics for most mammals, okay? Now, what is an example of an ungulate? Anyone know? Does anyone know what an ungulate is? Boom, deer track. Very observant of you. Good job, gold star. So they don't have palm pads and heel pads. They have what's called cleaves. Okay? So everyone know what a white-tailed deer hoof looks like? So think of that's their, I mean, really, it's their toenail. So they're, walking on their toenails. Make sense?
That makes
Yes?
which makes the feet cool.
No.
No, I just think
Alright. So mammals like squirrel, bobcat, raccoon, they are all non-ungulates. Why? If you're paying attention.
Someone other than Max.
Yes. Yes, they don't have cleaves. Alright? Alright. So this might get a little tedious, but bear with me. Okay? Ha 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 ha. That was funny. So when you're measuring a track, why is it important maybe to measure a track? Somebody else. It's great that you're participating. Yes.
Figure out its size.
Yes. Because again, you might want to know what kind of animal you have on your property. Alright? So again, pause. If you're measuring the width, you're measuring from this side of your palm pad to this side. Okay? Yeah, that was great. Oh, your furthest toe pads also. Okay? And then your length is from the base of your heel pad to the tip of your toe pad. Okay? And same thing for ungulates. You take the widest part of the cleave and the longest part of the cleave. Make sense? Did I confuse anyone? Is anyone hopelessly lost? I'm sorry, I can't help you. Alright, another such thing as a maximum and minimum outline. Does anyone, you can look at the slide, have an idea of what that might mean? What do you think it means?
I think it's the track and the outside.
Close, you're on the right track. Ha ha ha.
I like it.
Puns.
I get it. No,
Oh,
joke.
you got the joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Woo, there we go. All right, so remember we were talking about the depression, like in the mud or in the snow? So the minimum outline is the measure inside the track, okay? And the maximum outline is like on the top of the substrate. What do you think is more accurate?
In between.
No. Good guess, but no. Maximum or minimum outline? No, and why? No, he said in between. Haha. Killers in the detail. Yes.
The minimum is deeper, it slants, maximum is wider than the minimum.
You're on the right track. So remember what I said, like snow melts or mud slides? Your minimum outline is the closest to the actual size. Make sense? Okay. All right, measuring trail width and stride. Are you on that? You good? All right. So when you're measuring width and stride, this is a little less important. You go from the furthest width to the furthest width. All right? Does that make sense? And then when you're measuring gait, what is gait? Nope. Stride is how far. Gait is how wide. So think my feet to my hands, that would be stride. And then this way would be gait, right? I think so. Okay. So you go from the widest part, okay?
So stride is height.
Alright. And whenever you're measuring stride, you always go from tip to tip or heel to heel. Make sense? Just to stay consistent.
It would be the same height.
Yeah, consistency is key. Okay? Alright. Are you on the okay. Who can tell the difference between these two pictures? Anybody? This is getting quiz time. So yes? Nope. Alright, so backtrack. These two pictures on your left is one animal, and this is an entirely different animal. Yes.
Velociraptors are large. Velociraptors are small, and those ones have claws.
Claws is a good observation. Can anyone tell me what animal it is? That's what I'm trying to get at.
A coyote.
Which one?
Gray one.
You're supposed to tell me. That is correct. One of them is a coyote. Which one?
The one on the left.
Excellent. What is the one on the right? Nope. Yes.
Raccoon?
Close. Nope.
Okay.
Bobcat. You got it.
I sound a dog.